तो आप लोग का स्वागत है एक टाइपस्क्रिप्ट के ट्यूटोरियल पे। आज हम लोग देखेंगे कि क्यों टाइपस्क्रिप्ट को बोला जाता है कि दैट इट इज ए सुपर स्क्रिप्ट और सुपर सेट ऑफ द जावास्क्रिप्ट एंड व्हाई इट इज रिक्वायर्ड। और जब जावास्क्रिप्ट था तो लोग टाइपस्क्रिप्ट का क्या जरूरत पड़ा। सो द वन प्रॉब्लम विद द जावास्क्रिप्ट इज दैट it lacks its type. Like when you define something or declare something, then it is not much known that what its type. Definitely you can like try type of something, and like if I create a file here that is index.js, and if I do this and let's console the type of num, then it will definitely give me that it's of num type, right? That's it. But like let's say that I make it let, and let's say that okay, I know that num is 10 and it's number type. What if by any chance if there is any function from which I am is returning something to this number, and that function returns some kind of a string, let's say this Aniket, but the num was supposed to be a number, right? But it's coming now, it's assigning the string in its part, and the JavaScript not showing any error, which is something that during the development we want to fix. Like we don't want, if there is number, I want that every time it should be a number of type, then it should be restricted from being assigned by a string. So if I do this one, then like it's saying the string. So the type changes in JavaScript when you assign different things to the same variable. So that's one problem with the JavaScript. But what if we do the same thing in TypeScript? So let's say index.ts, and we do this one, right? And let's say now I'm trying to assign a string to this number. You can clearly see that I am actually, while writing this code, I am getting this error that type string is not assignable to type number. Why? Because you have already assigned a number to a variable which make the type of that variable as a number. So now you cannot change it to the string. So that's one benefit that we get out of TypeScript, that we can emphasize and make the type restrict to a number. However, I have not assigned the type here. It is automatically detected by the TypeScript as of now. But for the best practice, we should define that, like what should be the type. So let's say we don't assign this one here. Let's say we just like this, and now it's given as a string, and if I write 10 now, so it is not showing any error because it is not initialized by anything. So when you initialize something in TypeScript, then the type is being passed to it. Like in the starting, I have initialized a number with the 10. Then this one has been setted that this number has a type of number. So if we don't initialize it and we are later assigning something, then it will like don't show any error or don't show anything. So that's one demerit of not assigning any type in when using the TypeScript. So it's better to assign the type. So let's say I did this. Now you can see that it is showing me this error that because the number has number type, then you cannot assign a string to a number type variable. So that's very helpful during the development also. So you can ask like how it is actually. So the thing that you are getting a lot of things from third-party resources. It could be like from database or it could be from the user interface, but you need to make sure that it should be number. Like if you want to add some two numbers, then it should be number. It can't be a string. You need to emphasize that it should be a number. For that purpose, we need to make the type strict. So that is one thing. Now another thing, like okay, let's say that if I run this program, then what will happen? So I am using just, I'm not compiling as of now, I'm just directly running it. So npk node and this file name. So through this you can, now you can see that it's clearly saying the same error that we saw here in the line, that is type string is not assignable to type number. and it helps us a lot. Now let's say that we actually want a variable to take both a number and a string also. How can we do that? We will go into that, but let's first understand all the primitive types and the types which is available for the TypeScript. So, well, there is a number type, there is a Boolean type, and there is a string type. So there are a lot of type available there. So let's go by one with example. We already saw the number one, so let's get back to names. Let's say if I use the name uh, or full name, we can say, and this is string. Now this is like the full name variable has a type of string. We may not assign any value here. It's up to us completely. This is, let's say, if we want to assign any boolean, so each active. So we can do this. By the way, if you want to know which IDE I am using, so I'm using Cursor IDE as of now, which is new and I'm trying it. Now if I can assign to, and definitely because I have assigned the type to boolean, I cannot assign something else. Like if I try to assign 2, then it will give us error. But the same thing won't happen in JavaScript. Like you can change assign anything to any variable, so that is not any restriction to that. Now there's a boolean, there's a string, there's a number, of course, and there's so many also. But as of now, we will not go much into that. The main course I want to provide here is to understand that how TypeScript is beneficial over the JavaScript and how it helps developer to during their coding journey. Okay, so let's, if you want to see what is the result of it, we can run this, and you can see the result. Okay, something didn't go well. Yeah, so actually I didn't set up basically the TypeScript to run in the cursor in this specific folder, so that's why we were getting to see that. So we can resolve this simply. So because we want the TypeScript to run this specific part of the file or these files, then we need to install the TypeScript for this repository. So for that we first need to init it. Sorry, so npm init, and after initting this, we basically need to install the TypeScript and TS node for this one. So npm install TS node and TypeScript. So that's all the dependency that is needed for the TypeScript file to run. Now we may also need to configure a TS config file, but we can simply say npx tsc, that is TypeScript, and that's just init. So this will init our TS config file where there's some configuration of the TypeScript is hidden. Now, based upon our requirement, we can comment out some things, but let's keep it as of now because our main focus is to see the application of this TypeScript. So now we can simply run this file. Yeah, so that's all. Now, what we can test is that how we pass the, like we saw that how to assign the type to a variable. Now let's see how to assign the type to a function or an array. Look, let's first go to the array one. So if we go to the normal JS file and we say like array equal to 1 2 3 4 5, and then we try to push something that is not number, like Aniket. Okay, now we want to console this, so there is no problem, like it will be set up. But let's say you want that this array should be always a number of type. So this is not a, like JavaScript is not taking care of that thing. And if we want to run this, so index.demo.js, and you can see that, yeah, like a string is being pushed here, but we don't want that. If we don't want that, and that is actually during the development phase, we There's certain many things where we want that certain things should be only stored number or a string like that. So for that purpose, we can assign the string to here. So let's say we can like array, and definitely we can this. Now because we have assigned these during the declaration, then the type is automatically set to the number one. Sorry, number type. Now if you want to push the indicate here, so you can see the common error that is getting here, that is a string is not assignable to part number. But let's see, what if the array to be of any type, like it can be a store a number, it can be a store a string, or it can be a store a boolean. Then what we can do is that we can assign the type to any. So this way, like the any, but there should be any of array. Okay, let's get back to first step. Let's say if you want only the number, so we can say that it should be an array of number, or let's say you are not assigning the value here, but you are assigning the value here like this. So you can see that, okay, fine, this is a number array. So what we do that after the number we put the square bracket, which makes sense that it is a number array. We write this thing as a two-way, like either we can write like this or we can use the array syntax. So this one, both is perfectly fine. So yeah, whatever suits you, you can go on. But what if we try to assign something like a string, then you can see that it's certainly showing the error. Now, what if you want the array to actually contain both the number and a string? So in that purpose, you can change this number to any, which actually substitute that, okay, the array of any type, it can consist of anything, any type. So that's the benefit of using any, but be careful that where you want it to be uh, used and where you don't want it to be used. So that's all for this tutorial, and it's over here.